Okay, I'm gonna resume tutorial. So next we have to go to, so you get that, to go to here to deal with the
What kind of
S triggers. And we're gonna head to Vermeer.
Commander, I'm reading a signal. Must be our Solarian.
Check out those defense towers.
Drop the Mako. We'll go in hot and take them out.
I'll get you in underneath their radar, Commander.
Okay, so
Gotta clean. I know the drill.
mostly more me driving here.
Joke around.
It's not as obvious where to go, so might want to pay some attention to the path, because the path does split off in a couple of areas that go. That both lead to the same final destination, but usually one way is a little faster than the other. You can try to kill some of these guys here as you go to get some extra experience, which is somewhat important. So this is the first place where you want to pay attention. When you get to the Colossus, turn left right away. You can also go straight there, and that gives you a different path that will still end up getting back up this path. Head. Beats up with it. Okay, so your goal with these gates is going to be parking the Mako somewhere where you can get down to, back into it from above. So we're going to go up to this side here, and we want to make sure we're not too close. Won't be able to target the Mako. So what we have to do here is open the gate so we can keep going. So you don't necessarily want to kill all these enemies. You want to, there's two destroyers here. They messed it up, but you want to lift one and throw the other. You also don't want to get fatigued if possible, so you need to hit these in this order. And you also want to open this with Metagel, which can give you a chance to get a better gun, which I got. And as you can see, way back into the Mako from above. So parking it up like on the stand there tends to work pretty well. The same thing again, basically. Except a little different when we actually get up there. In terms of how many buttons we need to hit, and we also won't open up the locker to get the upgrades. You can also use Adrenaline Burst here if you're running. If your things are still on cooldown. really make any difference whether or not you use it here.
That's the last one.
Obviously, you also ideally not want to get fatigued, but yeah. Because if you still have enemies alive, you're not fatigued, you can just sprint back too. And that's pretty much it for the first part. You gotta drive to the camp. So yeah. Basically, park sand up near the gate, but not too close to the wall. Then when you get up there, you wanna throw one of the destroyers and lift the other. And if they continue chasing you around, you can kill them. Also, if you need to, at the second gate, use Adrenaline Burst to get lift and throw off cooldown.
So what are we supposed to do now?
So here you can actually
Until we can come up with a
choose who
plan.
you want to take with you. By default,
So
it'll send Caden with
a bad feeling about this place.
the Solarians and have Ashley come with you, which will also lead to Caden. I mean, this won't necessarily lead to Caden dying, but
With my life.
it'll,
I've also heard murmurs of discontent.
yeah, kind of
Share
will.
your concerns.
It's based on how the choices play out through the rest of the mission.
Com check, and Commander. If you see any way
Okay.
to undermine their defenses, we could definitely use it. Shadow is on the ground. Repeat, Shadow is on the ground. Lieutenant Alenko.
So
with
here,
your team.
I'm gonna go over to the left of this
Time to get some attention.
tower thing here.
Fire is coordinated.
Feel free to use any of your abilities you need to here to stay alive or kill off some enemies.
Anyone left from Manavai, merge up with Giato. Lieutenant Alenko, with me.
Definitely want to try to kill some of these enemies, especially the drones. Let's see, because they can deal a lot of damage to you. You don't necessarily need to have. You don't have to kill them.
Giato,
Though.
watch for comm stations. Alenko, can you see anything?
So here, if you really want to, I'm going to do it too. There's an aid station here to grab some extra metagel. I grabbed it because I was low.
We're getting pounded.
There's a decent number of autosavers on this mission for when you're first learning. You want to lift this guy here. Let's see. What am I doing? Wrong buttons.
A, form up with Giato. Hold that line.
And yeah. Like, you continue using your abilities as needed here to keep yourself from dying. Kill some extra enemies.
Giato around me. Shadow team must be
If
getting
you really are desperate, you can use Barrier earlier there, and also, if you need to use it again, just Adrenaline Burst.
perimeter clear.
Grab it.
Heads up.
Don't feel bad about using your abilities here. The only thing you really want to keep on cooldown coming up ahead are like Marksman and you can just run by all these enemies. Watch out for this Juggernaut here who will shoot some rockets at you.
Hello? Is someone out there?
Just go right into the elevator. Alright, so here is a part that can be somewhat difficult. You're gonna wanna basically run over here, throw this Krogan doctor guy right away and try to kill him before he can get up. Kill the scientist, kill the husk. Kill the husk. And if you do it fast enough, this door will be open. You can also get knocked down, and then when you get if you get knocked down by the doctor, start taking a lot of damage, and then the husks will spawn, and the door won't open until you kill everyone in that room.
Clear.
But the minimum number of enemies you have to kill are the doctor, the scientist, and one husk, which is the ideal situation. Now at this point you may or may not have any nades left. Since I do, I'll use one here. Just feel free to sprint until you're fatigued.
Think we got him, Commander.
Oh yes, and there is another out of bounds there. You just go up, just walk directly at the bridge, quick save and load, walk directly over the air towards the other end of the bridge, crouch quick again. That one's fairly simple to do. Okay, so here your goal is going to be to get up over here as fast as possible and hit this button to deactivate the turrets, because that will do this part as quickly as possible. You also want to grab that supply container there, and finally grab this, which will give you the best chance of getting all the weapons and stuff that you want. Also, as soon as these guys come down, you can just kill them, and you don't have to kill any of the enemies before going on the elevator. So really, the only thing you have to do in that area is hit the button, wait for the Geth to come down the elevator, kill the Geth on the elevator. And also, but you also want to grab both of the containers there to maximize your chances of getting the weapons and ammo upgrades and stuff that you want. You don't actually have to kill these guys. Your squad mates will probably just kill them while you're running past anyways. Okay.
All right. Nice work. That's one less thing to worry about.
We're getting
Commander,
close to the
bring
end of the
this in.
mission here.
I'll get as close to the
We're gonna
site
take
as I
our
can.
next level up as soon as this cutscene plays. And I'll make sure to point out the most important parts in case you somehow end up at a lower level here.
Bomb is in.
Alright, go here, pause. Going to first check out our weapons, since Edge is better than the Striker, go with that. Also equip chemical rounds here, that's probably your best bet. You don't really have to do anything with the armor. Okay, so I think it goes right, you should have 14 points here. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so you want to make sure you get... the key part here is to get Intimidate up to 9. That's the important thing. In case you have points. And then you want to max out pistols and throw. Okay. This fight can be kind of difficult. What I like to do first is I go barrier. I go straight for the toughest Krogan and try to throw him to knock him down. You definitely want to focus on closely here. Try to kill them all before they can get to you. Then you can deal with 2 Geth.
Negative contacts, Commander.
Okay. So here, if you really, really are desperate and did not get any weapons that are decent, so like no rank 3 pistols, you can go for this crate. Otherwise, you just want to walk up here.
Looks like they're
So this
sending
part, you need to make sure you make the right
reinforcements.
choices.
It's already here.
You want to go like this, then you want to pick the one on the left here. I'm
Williams.
going to Ashley,
Yes, Commander.
if assuming you chose to just skip through the part as fast as possible. You go into this corner here, you save. Hello. And when you get here, you want to be kind of careful. The easiest thing to do is just kind of aim towards the thing here, failing, and just W. You'll fall back down here, and then you need to kill all these geth. They will not shoot you at all. You shouldn't have too much trouble. You can also feel free to use like overload to try to blow up one of these tanks and blow them faster. And I just like to
Commander, you need to set the nuke and get out.
just to make sure everything's off cooldown. Although I'm pretty sure it still would be anyways by the time this cutscene stops. Okay, so here's another part where you really want to make sure you make the right dialogue choices. So what I do here,
Of course, it was all for nothing.
so make me understand.
Trillions dead.
It's not that simple.
Once I understood this,
It's not working,
I
so
joined
that's the
Sovereign,
option on the left
though I
here.
was aware of
You're
it.
afraid.
Sovereign needs me.
It's already happened, and then
Sovereign
you should
needs
have
me.
this
If I find
negate
it,
option, and after that point it doesn't really matter what you pick, you can just skip through the rest once you've picked that. So here you could just like that, if it happens to be standing above one of those tanks, and that'll deal a huge amount of damage to it. So yeah, just overload is probably can take most of it. Sometimes she'll do it on her own, and sometimes you won't be in a great position to blow him up with a tank. That is the fastest way to kill him. And that's the end of her.
All right, everybody, hang on.
The last part we have to do is there.
Commander,
At least before you get to the real tail end of the game. Most of the main chunk of the story. There. So, yes, it's important to note that Therum is directly marked on your map. Like all the other planets are. It just says Liar's dig site, it doesn't actually say. So you want to go up to this Knossos or whatever. Just straight up from the one you stood off in when you enter
Commander,
the view of the system, and then go to this planet, which is Therum. Therum has some dumb stuff, and it's mostly related to the Mako. So, I'll try to spend some time explaining this, but best way to really learn how to do this stuff is just practice it.
Strange readings? Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
difficult part. And to be clear, if you fail this in a run, you should just automatically go for the normal way of doing this for the mission. Just gonna kill these so I can try to save here and show it off in one. Do it enough times to actually pull it. So anyways. Should be out of that. So get into Mako. See, you're supposed to not. You're supposed to turn to the right here when you do this part. You want to aim towards this right turret here. So you want to first, you want to go hit one jump, and then once you're kind of over onto the top of the turret and maybe a little bit onto the ledge, you want to just smash the hover button. Okay, that will get you up and over like that. It looks like what are you gonna do? Yeah. It's really precise, and I guess I should show the other way around. So, show you what you do if you're just gonna intentionally fail here. Just try to intentionally fail. I'll still like approach it the same way. Okay. Let's just pretend I failed. I would just turn back around, because you need to have enough speed to do it, and it's just not worth backing all the way up and trying it again. Then you just go this way, which is the normal way you're supposed to go. Just be careful when you're driving, because it's a lot of bumpy shit here. And around. Don't worry if you can't get that trick very often or each time, it's pretty hard. And it's not a huge loss if you get it. So here you can grab another weapon locker if you want. Usually if you don't have an Edge 3, it's probably worth grabbing, otherwise you just skip it. So if your best weapon is like a Striker 3 or a Kessler 3, you somehow still don't even have a rank 3 gun, then you should go for that. That one can have rank 4 guns. The best gun you can get on rank 3. Any rank 4 gun is better than rank 3 gun, but chances of you getting it great enough that it's worth going for if you already have a good gun. So just more Mako driving here. So yeah, that first jump is very difficult. Kind of need to practice it and get a feel for what it looks like when you do it right, and what it looks like when it's going to be to be at a high enough speed and the right angle and time your jump correctly. Combination. Most of the time when you hit the top of the wall there, for some reason you can usually maneuver your way past. If you get over it all, just keep... if you get the height at all and you're close enough to the top of the wall laterally, then you should just keep spamming spacebar to give yourself a little extra distance and hopefully go over the top. Hello. Chat. Dr. Sweetie. Finishing up this tutorial. I started yesterday, I guess. It's the next difficult mega part. You can kill these guys here. It might not be a bad idea when you're first learning this to do it. It'll allow you to save before doing this next part, and it can be important because you can get stuck in this next part and unable to progress. So what you're going to try to do here is you're going to try to make it through this passage with the Mako. So what you want to do is you don't even need to be this far away. You can be pretty close, and you just want to kind of aim at the drive towards the left part of the opening, and you might end up with something like this. And pretty much that might not work, but anytime when you get at least partially into the crack here, you can usually turn your wheels a bit and make it. The goal here is not to... You don't want to press W too much once you get through the crack, because then that's what tends to lead to getting stuck. So I'm doing this pretty poorly. So let's try to get it good look. It's probably not gonna work. It's hard to explain how to do this. I'm not doing it very well, so... God, please. Okay, let's back it up. Okay. Ow. Okay, so something like this. You can quite often get something like this, and just holding W will not get you through. You want to kind of adjust A and D, maybe S a little bit, just to back out a little bit, and push through until you get it. If you need to, back all the way out, just try to get it. Once you're in a position like this, you can definitely get through. You just want to hold W and make sure you don't go too far to the right, because that's where you get stuck. You hold W and A, what I would do, and get through. So that part's worth practicing a lot, and it can be difficult. So now you have to drive through an area with the Mako that you're not really supposed to drive in. What I do is, you definitely want to, you don't need to kill any of these enemies, but it can help. When you get to this part, you just want to jump in, because it's the only real easy way to get past. Here you want to kind of go right first, and then go left a bit. And get stuck, so be careful. I want to basically just get over this area. And as you can see, not the easiest thing to drive around in the area. So, just want to go straight up, basically. Once you do that, pretty much home free. And you'll hit this cutscene. So none of these enemies will attack you once this cutscene ends as a result of entering it with the Mako, and the only one you need to kill is the Geth Armature. So just focus on that. Once its health gets a little low, you can just jump out of the Mako and run up towards the entrance line. I tend to like to do shoot a rocket, shoot it a bit with the machine gun. For some reason, whenever you exit, you'll always have the assault rifle equipped. Just to kill it, you can just run up towards it. So, once you get out of the Mako, the hardest part of the mission is done, basically. Kill 3 guys here, because you're going to want to do a quick save to glitch a bit here. Just get into this corner, the railings, 2
Area secure.
right angle. Save. You'll end up on the bottom of the mine. And you'll be somewhat inside of this. So this, you have grenades here. You're going to want to make sure you're a little bit, not too close to this. If you don't have any grenades, you can just shoot this and get into combat so you can sprint. Either way. Next thing you want to do is you want to try to put squad mates kind of on this area here, because what you're going to do, try to do at least, is you're going to go here, get the hello trigger, and you want to try to talk to one of your squad mates, because that will enter the cutscene faster. I did not put them far enough up the ledge there to be able to talk to them.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
You can just try to have them follow you up, but when you're sprinting, you might get too far ahead of them, and they won't get close to you in time. You have to kill these 4 Geth here. Then you gotta do the mining laser. This is completely random. Also important to note is that you can use the arrow keys or the WASD keys to pick your options here. So I got a pretty easy one there. And you can just grenade again if you have one to get back up to Liara.
All clear, Commander.
And you're gonna glitch through the barrier. And what you want to do is you kind of want to get over the corner here and kind of where this pillar meets with it, and then you just crouch over there. Pretty much as far as you can go right, all up against that wall. Then just talk to Liara. For this fight, I'd like to... You definitely want to focus on the Krogan guy at first, so... Use marksman, start shooting him, throw him to the ground, and try to finish him off, and then you can worry about dealing the rest of the Geth. That's what we're here. You got a fairly long cutscene with Liara here.
Relax, Commander. Embrace eternity. I never thought the images would be so intense. I need a moment to collect myself.
Okay. So now you're gonna be dragged into going to Citadel.
I forwarded the mission.
We're not gonna spend very long at the Citadel, thankfully.
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
So here, you can just pick whoever.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged.
So the first thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna go right up against
ashore.
this wall here, crouch, save. And what I like to do, as soon as this loading screen comes up, I hold W, crouch, and let go of crouch to drop down. And now you're just gonna run in this direction. And when you see on the bottom, or not the bottom, the bottom right, where my mini-map is, the yellow marker. The bottom of that is touching the bottom of the mini-map. Then you're just gonna save, load, and once you get in here, just don't press anything. Just wait for it to get you into the ship again. You should end up either down here or above, and you can just crouch. And that is all for the Citadel. Now we can go to ILS. So took Liara and Tali here for Ilos, and you'll take the same too for the Citadel once you get back as well. I don't even know if it gives you the option to change, I forget.
You two, keep moving inside now.
Pretty sure it does. Okay, so the first thing I like to do here is get back in the Mako and back it up a little. And you can run this way. So here, your goal is basically just to skip these enemies and try to not die. The things you gotta worry about here are the armatures. When you get close to them, you probably just want to barrier up. Go to in the corner as quick as possible to get out of their line of sight. You probably also want to use, you're going to want to use barrier gun during this part, so you can adrenaline burst to take it off cooldown. And you're just going to run straight through here, up to this part here, hit E, click to climb, and keep moving towards the elevator. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing you have to do here. Try not to die, make use of barrier, sprinting.
Saren's troops must have sealed the doors from here after he went inside. We will have to figure out how to disengage the security
use
mechanism if we ever want to
Metagel
inside the bunker.
as necessary. So here's a fight you cannot skip. Gotta fight a bunch of Geth. So once again, you're probably gonna want to use Barrier at some point. You have to worry about these destroyers who will just run right at you. Also take out the Prime. And as you can see, you can take quite a bit of damage here. I might even die. But yeah, the destroyers and the Prime are the biggest problems here. But you do have to kill everyone here. And you can just kill them as you're moving forward if you want to too. But yeah, watch out for 2 destroyers and a Prime.
Hold on.
You gotta activate the panel. Stairs here. And head back down. And you can use grenade here if you have one to sprint. Try to. And then we're just gonna head straight back to the Mako as fast as possible. Get up here again. Barriering up to make sure we don't die. And you also probably don't want to sprint to fatigue because you just want to keep recharging a little. So once you're close to the Mako, okay. Important thing to notice: I just got a glitch that causes the Mako to be really floaty when you drive it. This is pretty bad.
I have spent my life
And
studying the Protheans, but I never dreamed I would discover anything
so
like
the
this.
way I deal with
This
it,
bunker might have been the
I
last
can't save
refuge
here.
of their entire
Okay.
species.
Well,
Just imagine
you're gonna
what
have to
this
watch
is
me
my home.
drive around like looking like an idiot.
Please.
So there's not really anything I can do about it right now, I guess.
The fate of the entire known galaxy?
Let's see if I can save now.
I was swept up in the moment.
Okay,
just
maybe
hope
I
we have the
cannot
opportunity
save
to study
this
this
area.
place in detail after this is done.
I thought Saren would have set some kind of trap or ambush for us. They must have been in too much of a hurry.
Or we just have yet to run into it.
Yeah. This is a pretty unfortunate glitch to get, and it's pretty hard to drive with.
What are all those things on the wall?
You'll
Some
know if
kind
you're
of
just like
containers?
flying up
They look like
in the
stasis
air
pods. The
a lot.
Protheans probably tried to keep
and
themselves
you're
alive through
staying up in
cryogenic
the air for a while too. But yeah. Nothing I can really suggest to avoid it other than suggest that it happens sometimes. And you need to be aware. So since it doesn't look like you can avoid or get rid of it at any point, okay, well, this is not going so well. But anyways, ideally, ideally, you'd just be driving straight here. Wow. Okay, I'm making this look harder than it normally is when you have the glitch. You kind of want to try to hold straight as much as possible and hope you don't bump into anything. And feel free to go slower. Oh my god. It's bad. Alright. Well, anyways, as we're driving around with the completely, utterly broken Mako, you'll eventually get to this point, and this is a point where you can, once you get to here, it is possible to salvage the Mako driving stuff.
What is happening?
So what I do,
It's a trap.
let's see,
Saren must have
if I
set
should
an
test
ambush.
this,
I do not think
because I
Saren
did not
is
test it
behind
during
this.
my run yesterday. This happened. Not sure if it's just going down here and re-entering that turns it off, or if it's saving that turns it off. Saving and reloading.
I have studied the Protheans for decades, but I have never...
Saving and reloading definitely gets rid of it, but it might only require just going down here and getting back up.
Be cautious. If this were simply an automated trap,
So if you have grenades here, you can sprint back and forth, depending on how much How many extra grenades do you have? I don't have any, so...
You are not...
Yeah. Just take the slow way back.
All their culture, all their advanced technology, and the Protheans were taken in by the Reapers just as we were. They failed.
Just like London. But they also
Right.
gave us a chance to save ourselves.
So anyways, I'm gonna save here. We're gonna test if this is still broken. Just by coming up here. Looks like it is. Just bump into something. Yeah, okay. So, if you save though, at any point once you get the Mako, and then reload, it should go away. Looks like it went away. Yeah, so it went away. This is more what the feel of this should be like. This is a somewhat difficult turn. What I like to do is just slow down a bit and make sure I get the turn. Wow. I want to try to avoid bumping into things like I am. Yeah. You can pretty much feel that something's off right away if you get the floaty Mako glitch. It just doesn't feel right. The way it's driving. And even in small bumps you'll just be able to notice that you're going up in the air a little bit. Even this bump will be noticeable. In terms of the amount of air it generates. Anyways, you don't want that to happen during a run. Oh, chat. Yeah, so it is possible to do that turn back there that I said was difficult while doing it fast. I just feel it's easier to get the fluid motion down while slowing down a bit through it. Because the problem isn't necessarily getting the turn, it's that once you go through the turn, if you continue going straight a bit, you'll run right into a rock. But if you slow down, you can make sure you maneuver out of the way of that
We
rock
don't have time to
more
admire the
easily.
view. We have to get through that relay, and these Geth aren't going to make it easy on us.
So once you get to this point, you'll be forced to watch the invasion of the Citadel begin.
Activate the defenses! Seal the station! The arms aren't moving. Systems not responding. Abandon the Citadel! Evacuate the Council! Citadel Control! Citadel Control, do you copy?
So here you just want to drive straight for the conduit, basically. Don't need to worry about taking damage or anything.
Critical failure detected across all monitored systems.
So you have to kill these 3 Geth. Husks, sorry. Okay. Once you do that, you're gonna want to go up to this wall here. You can try to align yourself pretty much with this line on the ground here. This black one. You should go like this. Ouch. Let's see. Okay, so this one can be somewhat difficult in terms of what you have to do here. But you get out of bounds. Go over here. You're gonna kind of want to line yourself up with this X. Kind of go sort of towards it a bit, but not so much so that you're on top of it. That should anything where you land on top of this part here is ideal. And you're just gonna keep running through here. Barrier. Kill some extra enemies if you need to. Your goal here is 32,100 experience. I'm already high enough. You get about 900 from the first part of the Saren fight, so if you're more than 900 away from getting to 32,100, you're probably going to want to try to kill a couple enemies there. Just the normal Geth soldiers, and then a couple up here.
Clear.
Also, I forgot to mention this before since I didn't do it, but as soon as you get to Ilos, if you can change your ammo rounds to piercing. I'll just do that now. Which is better for the final fight than chemical rounds, and it's also just better against Geth than chemical rounds. If you really want to, you can wait until you level up here to do it. Yeah, you'll level up, do the last level up of the game right after first rid of this Saren stuff. So here is why it's important to have made that renegade choice on Vermeer, because if you make that choice, it only requires 9 intimidate to convince him to shoot himself. So you want to pick either of these options here, then just pick all the renegade options. And if you had done that renegade option on, or intimidate option I should say, on Vermeer, it only required 9 intimidate to do it here. If you miss it on Vermeer, it requires 12, and you can't get 12 by this point in the game. You only get up to 10, so that's why it's really important. So now I'll level up. You just want to max out lift, basically. And you can throw your last point in. If you don't hit level 24, just get lift as high as you can, basically. Your goal is just to give lift as much of a duration as possible. Let's fight. And you know, like I said, if you hadn't already equipped your piercing rounds, you would do it now. Okay.
Quick!
So basically what you want to do here is save the council,
Are you sure?
What's the order, Commander?
which is a little bit faster than letting them die.
Alliance ships, move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
So doing this next fight fast can require a little bit of luck,
Thank the goddess.
but mostly is related to knowing what to do. And you really just want to keep Sarah knocked down or lifted pretty much the entire fight, and just empty ammo into him. Or shots, I guess. Really ammo in this game.
Destiny Ascension, you are all clear. Repeat, you are all clear.
The Citadel's opening. All ships move in. Concentrate on Sovereign.
But you do get an autosave at the beginning of the Saren fight, so I might show it off more than once. Especially if I screw it up. Basically, what you don't want to do, could happen right at the beginning is you can get
Make sure
you can
he's
use
dead.
overload on you, and then your gun gets completely overheated, and that just completely mess with how the fight plays out. In terms of timing your abilities correctly to use them against him, all that kind of stuff. How quickly you take him down.
He's dead.
Initial goal here is just going to be to lift him. Then, wow, I got. Okay. Let's see if I can show this off again, because I got overloaded.
I am sovereign, and this station is mine.
Just want to empty ammo into him as much as possible. If everything goes well, you do lift, throw, or throw then lift, any order, and just have marksman going. Empty ammo into him, also use warp to deal some extra damage and stuff. You probably want to go ordered either throw slash lift, then warp, and then marksman.
Negative. This is
And
our
just
only
empty more
chance.
ammo into him.
Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
So here we're gonna start off by lifting again. We're gonna go marksman. We're gonna go warp, bow, shoot some more. We're gonna go we're gonna adrenaline burst. Gonna empty some more ammo into him. And yeah, you're gonna wanna basically lift or throw to lead off. Marksman, warp, throw or lift again, whichever one you didn't use. And then turns out you're going to want to adrenaline burst, and then throw or lift, and throw or lift. And if you need to, refresh marksman.
Its shields are down. Now's our chance.
Ideally, you want to use the rotor lift right as the other one's about to wear off, like your second one, so he never gets up and starts moving around, especially on the second half of the fight, because he moves around a lot faster. So once he starts moving, bouncing around a lot in the second half of the fight, you can try to hit throw or lift. If he's already started moving, he might bounce around and you miss it completely. But yeah. You can lift people when they have shields in Mass Effect 1.
Go!
And yeah, that's the end of the game. So that fight can be quite difficult. Your main goal is just to hope to not get overloaded. I'm not entirely sure what the best way to do that is, other than getting him lifted or thrown or lifted as early into the fight as you can. Which can be annoying because you always start off facing the opposite way, sort of where he is located. Yeah. Cutscene. Long on with the game. If you made it this far.
Anderson, we found them. They're in here.
So let's see.
Take it easy.
How long did this tutorial end up being? Okay. About 2 hours and 15 minutes combined. Yeah, I mean, I do go through some stuff fast, but I'll try to give links to some of the more difficult. I put some links in part 1 to describe how to do some of the more difficult stuff there, and I will try to do a little bit more of that when I post this as well, in the description. So mainly, I'll probably link to the videos showing how to do the jumps and stuff on Thera with Nico. And then maybe just describing how I approach the Saren fight at the end. And I guess I'll also just include one last thing, which is describing what you want to get on every level.
Ambassador? Captain? We have gathered here
But
Hang on, to watch this. Yeah. That's all for the tutorial, and hopefully it's helpful for anyone who watches it, even if it's only retro gamers.